What's up, Captains? It's Sista Citizen, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to organize the mods in your load order properly for Starfield. I especially think this might be helpful for the new fleet of captains coming in with the release of Starfield on PS5, who may have never used mods before, or maybe you've been using mods on console or PC and need a little guidance, or maybe you've been having issues with your game and can't figure out why. This video is for you. Now, I'm not 100% sure what mods will be available day one for PS5, but I will be showing you the best way to organize your load order using mods currently available that I use in my load order. And any mod I use as an example, I suggest you check out. These are mods I never play without, that they just stay permanent in my load order. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a video or a live stream. Now let's get into it, Captains. I'll try to make this as simple as possible so your eyes don't glaze over. And if they do, feel free to come back to the video and use it as a reference. First up at the top of your load order should be your SFSE plugins or your Starfield script extender plugins. Plugins like Papyrus Extender, and this allows modders to create more complex, efficient, and dynamic mods, such as advanced combat, item management, or environmental effects that are impossible with the vanilla scripting. Now, I didn't write that out or anything. I found that on the internet. But anyway, this is only for PC because mods that need a script extender are not available on console. Maybe one day. So ignore this part. This does not pertain to you. This is for PC players. Next up are your bug fixes, utilities, and tweaks. So you would put like the unofficial Starfield patch there. I don't know if the mod author is still working on that or not, but if you are using that, that's going to go at the top of your load order. Underneath that, you're going to put your Starfield engine fixes. All right, so now we get into your alternate starts. So for instance, SKK Fast Start, this is a mod that allows you to skip the main quest, basically walk right into the lodge, pick up Andreja, and go about your business, which is what pretty much most people do, or any kind of mod that changes the start of the game. Next up, you want to add your user interface, such as Star UI. I use a mod called Smooth UI now to help my menu from lagging out my game when I go in and out of the menu. So anything that affects your user interface. I also use a mod like a Star Wars mod that completely changes the interface, where your compass and your ammo icons are completely different. So anything that does that changes the interface of the game. Next, any kind of fonts or anything that changes the fonts of the game, such as enhanced dialogue interface. Next up is music and sound. So any mod that replaces the base game music, any kind of combat music, any kind of sound effects of any sort, you want to put it under music and sounds. Next, vanilla quest expansion. So any kind of mod that expands an existing vanilla quest. Next, you would want to put your new quests, new worlds, new add-ons, new things that people have created that are like vanilla quests. For instance, Cryomancers or Welcome to Arena. That is a free quest mod, by the way. It's excellent voice acting. And of course, Cryomancers is by Zone 79. Next up, we have base textures and models. Now, we don't really have anything like that for Starfield yet, or at least that I know of. But if you played Skyrim, this would be something similar to Static Mesh Improvement mod, or any kind of mod that basically makes the textures like 4K or 2K, or anything that makes the textures high def, I guess you would say high def. And they go in, they clean up the meshes so the game looks crispier, nicer, graphically more pleasing to the eyeballs. I don't know, whatever. Next up would be your landscape mods. Now, I use a mod called Paved Aquila. This mod takes all the mud and dirt out of the roads of Aquila. Everybody to each his own for their taste, but for me, I don't like to, get my shoes dirty. And then any kind of mod that changes the roads or any kind of the terrain of the game. And again, load order does matter. So let me give you an example, even in your different sections of your load order. So let's say, for instance, I use the Paved Aquila mod, but let's say, for instance, I downloaded a mod that added more rocks to Aquila. So what I would want to do is make sure that I put that mod that added rocks, maybe alongside the road, maybe scattered across the road or whatever these rocks do. Logically, the rocks would go on top of a road. So that would mean you'd want to put the rock mod or whatever road or terrain mod, let's just call it rocks for now, beneath paved Aquila so that it will override it. So you'll still have the paved Aquila and then you'll have your rock mod on top of it. Underneath that, you'll want to add your tree mods. I don't use tree mods because they're kind of resource heavy. But again, I'll give you an example of the overwrite. Let's say you download a tree mod and then you download a mod that changes all the colors of the trees. You'd want to put the mod that changes all of the colors of the trees underneath any of your tree mods to make sure that the mod that changes all the colors of the trees that you've added. So the mod that's on the bottom wins. Remember that the mod that's on the bottom wins. Next up, you'd want to put your grass mods, any kind of grass mods that you use. I don't use any grass mods, but I believe there is a grass mod out there. If you guys know the name of a good grass mod, make sure you put it in the comment section below. Next up, you want to add your plant mods. Now, I don't use a lot of foliage mods just because I don't want to use the resources of my game on that, but a lot of people do. So this is where you'd want to put your plant mods. And again, for instance, if you downloaded a mod that, made all of the plants different colors or different sizes or anything like that, you'd want to put that like cosmetic mod or anything that tweaks the plant mods that you've added underneath the plant mods that you've added to make sure that it overwrites everything else. Next up, you want to put your weather mods like royal weathers. Now, I put this in there. I don't use royal weathers. I don't use weather mods for the most part because it makes my game darker. And I try not to, I don't really like my game darker, but that's where you'd want to put your weather mods. And from what I understand, royal weathers is good. I believe this is the mod that they use in Star Wars Genesis. So if you like the way the weathers work there, this is the mod that was used in that. Okay, next up, you want to put your sky mods, and I do use a sky mods to make the stars look a little bit more juicier. I guess you would call it a little bit more galaxy looking. I use Rudy HQ, more epic Milky Way texture. But if you're using any kind of mod that changes the sky or the stars or anything like that, this is where you would put it. Next, you want to put your water mods. I don't use water mods, but this is where you would put water mods. If you guys know of good water mods, again, put it down below. I'm not going to say that again because I've said it like 20 times already. Next up, you want to put your ship mods. And if you are a shipbuilder or just, if you want to tinker with your ships in general, or if you're using any kind of mods that require, like for instance, ship vendor framework, if you're using that mod, what that does is it allows you to buy, different ships at the vendors that mod authors add into the game. You can purchase them. It's a way for them to build a custom ship and then have you pick it up at the vendors in the game. But a lot of mods depend on that. A lot of mods depend on a mod called Better Ship Part Flips. I don't build a lot of ships. I used to, but there's a lot of ship builders in Starfield. So you'd want to put those on top because a lot of ship mods require it underneath, okay, as a core. They need those as a core to function properly. And then under that, you'd want to put your habs. You'd want to put like your pre-made ships. You'd want to put things like useful brigs, any kind of mod that affects the habs. Some people may want to put that in the miscellaneous section down below. That's kind of preference for me. I like to keep everything in my ship section. I also like to put like my fleet commander in this section. So anything that has to do with my ship, I like to put it here. One thing I will say, the Owltech Let's Work habs, I put that one there as an example. There's a patch that makes it so that the containers don't fill up with loot and cash because in his habs, it refills because he wanted to give you the immersion that your followers were filling it with loot and stuff as you traveled. But some people may not want that. So there's a patch for that so that the containers stay empty and they don't spawn any loot. So you can put that at the very bottom of your load order, and we'll get to that in a second. But for me personally, if I like to put my patches in the section of what it's for. So I would put the patch for that right underneath that Owltech Let's Work tabs, but I would also probably put that, since it has a patch, at the bottom of my ships section in my load order, if that makes sense. If I have any mods that have patches, I try to put them towards the bottom of the ship section or whatever section it's in. Next up, we have the vehicles. So if you have any kind of vehicles for the buggy, you'd want to put them here. A lot of mods depend on the Dymos mods, so you'd want to put that up top, obviously, in any kind of vehicle packages underneath, or vehicles that you may want to add to the game. You'd want to put those there. All right, now we have player homes like Zones City Homes, which is a great mod, gives you a nice little player home in all of the major cities. Also, we have outposts, so a mod like Argos Extractors that give you full outpost tabs. You want to put them here. Next up, we have NPC resources like Native Animation Framework. A new animation framework is being worked on, and of course animations affect pretty much all NPCs in the game. Mods like ZBB, Zone's Beautiful Body, which is similar to like a CBBE in Skyrim and Fallout, like a body model. This is the one to use for Starfield as of now, which is a ZBB mod. There is an Eyes of Beauty for Starfield, so again, you'd want to put that here. That affects all NPCs in the game. You'd also want to put your hair mods that replace NPC hair or your own hair, any kind of hair mods. There is Star Queen, and this is a mod that changes the skin texture on all of the female characters in the game. And there is a male version of that called the Robert S. Body Model Replacer. Next up, we have our followers section, and here's where you'd put followers like Lyria. I have a mod that lets me have Chewbacca as a follower. So any kind of custom followers, you'd want to add them here. Character presets. Now I use a mod called Kerrigan, and what it does is it gives you more options during the character creation section of the game. And you can also load in preset characters. There's a mod that I use called Bradfield, and it basically, you can turn followers into, these character presets. So I've turned the Adoring Fan into Brad Pitt. There's a mod called NPC Enhancer Gun, and you can just basically aim it at one of your companions, shoot it, and then it'll pop up the character creator, and then you can add it, change them into a pre-loaded character preset like the Brad Pitt one. Or if you're starting a new game, for instance, and you don't want to create a whole new character all over again, you can save your characters and you can just start out in the character creator and just load it up. Or like I said, you can use the NPC Enhancer Gun and change your followers to whatever preset that you've loaded in. So I didn't add that particular NPC Enhancer Gun mod here, but you should definitely get it. It gives you the ability to make your followers look any way you want to. After your character presets, you're going to want to put your armors and any kind of clothing items after your armors. Weapons. Hawkmoon is one of my favorite weapons. Animals and creatures. Now, I personally don't use any kind of creature or mods that add animals to the game. I'm not really a big pet person. However, if you are a pet person, this is where you would put all of the added animal mods or any kind of mods that replace the creatures or any kind of animal in the game. Lighting effects like enhanced lights and effects, which is a fantastic mod, makes Starfield look a lot more warmer. Performance fog remover, which removes all the fog in the game. It will make your game look so crispy and so nice. Also neutral LUTs, no color filters. This basically removes that green tint in the game. I don't know who keeps putting the green tint into Bethesda games, but stop it. Stop it. Any kind of flames or anything like that in the game, anything that has to do with lighting, you want to put that in this section. Movement animations. Now, we don't have a lot of these as of yet. Hopefully we'll get a lot more. But I do use a mod that's a pistol animation mod. It's called Pistol Animation. And basically it gives you, your character will hold a pistol one-handed, kind of turn sideways, and it gives your character a little bit of swagger when they walk. Hopefully we'll get a lot more of those. Perks, abilities, and power. Mods like Ascension or Starborn Powers, Sith Lightning. I have a mod that changes one of our Starborn powers into Sith Lightning from Star Wars. So anything like that, anything that affects your starborn powers or anything, any kind of mod like that, this is where you would put it. Crafting. Crafting is the next section in your load order. Here you want to put mods that add items to your builder. Earlier we had the outpost section, and that's if you're using a mod that just has habs, but a lot of the mods have habs and items along with it. So just to be safe, I would put those here. Under that, you'd want to have your enemies and AI, any kind of AI mods that you're using to change the behavior of the vanilla game NPCs. Red Dog's AI is a great set of mods. It adds AI combat to all of the factions in the game. It's really cool if you want to get make your combat more exciting. But this is where you would put those. Next up, we have miscellaneous gameplay mods like Ascension, Gorefield, Starvival, Bedlam. These are those type of mods that you'd want to put here. All great mods. Well, actually, I haven't tried Starvival, but everybody raves about that one. But the other ones I have tried, so that's where you'd want to put those mods. And any kind of other various mods where you're just kind of doing gameplay, mods that add, tasks, or mods like Breathe Without Backpacks. There's a mod that I use called Leave No Witnesses, where you won't get a bounty if you leave no witnesses. So like gameplay mods like that, you'd want to put those here. Underneath that, you'd want to put your late loaders. Now, late loaders are mods that mod authors suggest that you should put at the bottom of your load order. That's why it's very important that you make sure you read the description of all the mods that you download and make sure to follow the directions of the mod authors. It will save you and probably the mod author, if you try to reach out if there's an issue, a lot of headaches. And at the very, very bottom of your load order, you're going to want to put all of your patches. I had mentioned earlier about the Owltech Let's Work hat patch that keeps the containers from spawning loot. You could put that at the bottom here. I prefer to put them in my ship section, but that's where you would put all of your patches like that in your load order at the very, very bottom. And that's it, captains. I tried to keep this short and sweet, and I hope it was helpful. Again, make sure to check out some of the mods I use for examples. They are all pretty awesome, so definitely download them. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video or a live stream. And I guess I'll see you in the free lanes, captains. Sanctum Universum.